Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have had impure thoughts about an Italian poker coach numerous times throughout the week. My dedication to my craft has soiled my mind.
What?
His name is Francesco La Criolla. He's a run-it-once coach, and I want to be impregnated by him, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Have you inquired?
No, I have no idea whether he's single or available, living in America or Italy. The facts at this point would ruin it for me.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how badly do you want this man?
75.
Would you be willing to wreck a home for this man?
Oh, no, I won't go that far. But I will say I am ready for his nonna to teach me how to make pasta. I'm all in.
Wow. Okay. Italian poker experience coming soon.
Buongiorno. Welcome to the Texas Poker Experience. I'm Caitlin Komeski. This is my co-host, Craig Sear. Today, we are joined by a phenomenal guest, one of the OG Texas poker influencers. We are so happy to have him here. Please welcome to your ears our guest, Ceddy Trevino, a.k.a. the Poker Traveler.
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
Doing so swell. Thank
Doing
you for
good.
coming.
Doing good.
Thank you for such a wonderful introduction.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was an OG.
Well, honestly, who was vlogging their Texas poker journey on Instagram before you?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody was.
So
I
there
guess
we
I
go.
am the OG.
There's your crown.
Sweet.
Wear it, King. Looks good on ya.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. What did I know about Ceddy before today? I only know the gossip.
Oh, shit.
I only know the gossip. So you're like a billionaire because you have 300 Bitcoin, right?
I'm okay. I'm doing well in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know now that you're a Yankees fan. I am a Red Sox fan, so that's
Okay.
a little bit of a problem for me, but I think we can focus on our common ground and get past that.
Yeah. I have to represent New York for all my Italian folk out there.
Okay. All right. Do you happen to know this Italian guy that Caitlin's trying to get in touch
I
with?
don't, but I can learn everything about him, study his habits, and make this happen.
I think if we
We're going to trap
collectively...
him like predators.
I think if we
that's
use
what
our
the world's
collective
about.
influence, I think we can get these two on a date.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we
Or
can
at
do it.
least get a meeting and then fake him out and
At
drug
the
him.
very
y'all-
least, I
Go
think
ahead.
we can get him to just send he could be a sperm donor at least. He could at least send.
I'm going to raise the bar just slightly higher than that, Craig, for my life's happiness.
You said you
but
want to be
thank you
impregnated
for your
by the man.
input.
I mean, at the very least, maybe he
Not
doesn't
like a
want to
goddamn
travel.
cow on a farm, Craig.
I'm just saying, as a bare minimum, I think that we could get him to do that.
There's a deeper
Okay.
connection between her and Francisco. Was that
Francisco
Yeah.
La Criolla,
what it was? La Criolla.
future Italian husband.
future Mrs. La Criolla.
Wow, it sounds so
It's a
good.
strong name.
Doesn't it?
I mean, I
Caitlin La Criolla.
We would no longer share initials if you married this man. I just want you to know.
I'd be CLC.
Yeah.
La
You can
Criolla.
hyphenate your name.
I like that for me.
Yeah, you have a strong last name already. You wouldn't want to change it.
CLCL.
Ooh.
I
My
like
mom
it.
once told me,
I'm on
she was
board
like,
now.
Caitlin, I was going to name you Courtney, but I thought Courtney Komeski was a mouthful. And I'm like, yeah, Caitlin Komeski is so much better, Mom.
Much
Nailed
softer,
it.
much softer off the tongue.
All right, Ceddy. So let's start out with your journey. What brought you to poker? Have you always been a professional poker player?
No, so I started playing poker like a lot of people in college. I'm 38 now, so in probably 2002, 2003, I started playing cards in college with my fraternity brothers. And I played a lot online, locally, until, Black Friday. I had a regular job, a regular career, and then I kind of just stepped away from the game for a long time. So from 10 to 17, I didn't play much at all, other than maybe a trip to Vegas here for a bachelor party or hanging out with buds, or maybe me and my wife were going on a trip somewhere where, there was a card room, and an occasional home game here and there. But in 2017, that's when I really started playing again. And when I say again, I mean almost every day.
Every day is a lot.
Every day is a lot, yeah.
Do you think your previous job positions and career path prepared you for poker in any way? Was there any translation of skills that you think prepared you for this life?
I think like everything kind of built together kind of prepared me for everything that I did. Like my career job is similar to poker, was similar to poker. In college, I studied math and physics. I was always a games player, like growing up, playing with family, with friends. And then my career ended up being like in financial services, but I kind of maneuvered my way into like the tech side of banking, project management, business analysis, software testing, that kind of stuff. And that was just really good because my social skills at the poker table allowed me to manage folks that were way smarter than me, and still trick them into doing what I needed them to do at work. And I think just that, along with, my upbringing and my, I guess, education, kind of all rounded things out to make me like a pretty good card player.
Sometimes you look at the things that you do in your life and you think, wow, this is so lucky. That's just like a term that I come up with for my business, building the poker tables. I talk to my wife about it all the time. I'm like, how lucky are we? I mean, like, just silly little things like the house that we're in has a giant garage, and it was the model house. So it has vaulted ceilings in the garage. So when I've got these extra long pieces of plywood to make a 9-foot poker table, I can stand them on end in our garage.
Sure.
And there's very few houses that would have that, and we certainly don't have like an entire workshop for it. I'm doing it all in the garage. And I think it's not really luck. As humans, you like make the most of the skills that you already have developed.
Things just happen to work out, I think, the way that they should or have been destined to work out.
There's definitely I guess similar to poker, there's definitely an element of luck to it, but...
Yeah, and the reason I started playing poker again was because my career was like getting super stressful. I was working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. I needed some sort of release, and I wasn't a golfer, and I didn't want to just drink all the time. Because I was like, those are like the only two options. And my wife said, we travel a lot, but we're taking vacations. Why don't you start like taking a vacation where you get to play? Because like she knew that I loved the game for so long. And that's what we started doing. We would take like one regular vacation, then we'd take one poker trip. We'd take one regular vacation, we'd take one poker trip. And then I found out that these card rooms started opening where I live in San Antonio. And it was 5 minutes from my work, 5 minutes from my house. My wife was in school, so it was perfect. Like I would hang out right after work and go to dinner with her when she was done, and everything worked out real well.
I think that's been a real consistency that we've had talking to some of our guests, is that they have strong spousal support. We talked about it with Joe and Nakia. Craig has Jackie. Can you speak to I know your wife is a wonderful, beautiful queen who's great at social media, is in the fashion industry. Tell us more about your lady.
Yeah, so me and my wife met in college. She was a freshman. I was in my third year. Like it was literally maybe her second, third week of school. We started dating. We dated all through college. We graduated, started careers, and everybody would ask us like, "Why aren't you getting married yet? Why aren't you getting married?" Like, we're like 21 years old. Like that's why we're not getting married. We're not ready for that. And we made sure that we had our careers, underway and were comfortable financially before we even got engaged. But my wife is, her education is in human resources. But around, I guess, 2016, 17, she started getting on Instagram and like trying to make friends on there, because the people that were in her life, that were our friends, were older than us, and they were in different phases of their life. They were starting to have kids. They were starting to starting to become very lame. And we weren't in that position in our lives to start doing that. So she made friends, on Instagram. She started kind of talking about her daily journey, started talking about things she enjoyed, whether they were lifestyle things or luxury, fashion, things like that. And then she just blew up on Instagram. That's kind of how I learned how to use Instagram. I was never going to use a social platform like that. And she's like, you should do this, but for poker. And now my wife does really well. She just started a YouTube channel. She has brand ambassadorships and marketing deals. It's at Smiles and Pearls on Instagram. It's the same thing on YouTube, TikTok, all those. But my wife does really well. She, advertises for big brands like Target, Walmart, Home Depot, all those kind of things. And she's made a really good life and a good business for herself.
Oh, yes, queen. We love it. Should we take a break to mention our sponsor real quick?
Sure.
Take it away, Craig.
You want some exciting news?
I would love some exciting news.
We have more than one.
That's a good sign.
So, back is Patch Addict. I think we know about Patch Addict at this point, but yes, iron-on patches, www.patchaddict.com, all sorts of, thousands and thousands of embroidered patches, but you just iron them on, take some parchment paper, slap them on your jacket, vest, backpack, whatever you want. Wear your pride on your sleeve. Kind of cool.
And remember to use your discount code Texas Poker.
Yeah,
just a little shout. Let them know it's working.
Yeah, get 20% off your order, and there's no minimum, so you can just go on there and order one patch if you want.
Love it.
And adding to our sponsorship this week is Lucky Card Club. They are up in. This is a weird part of town. It might be Austin. I think it is technically Austin, but pretty much Cedar Park.
Park-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
north west.
Yeah, Lake Creek Parkway and 620. They are basically the small stakes capital of the card clubs.
We stand a small stakes game. You know me.
Yeah. Probably more my brand than Caitlin's brand. Caitlin walks in a room and goes, "Where's the big game?" I walk in and go, "I got $30. What can I play?"
I'm scared and frightened. Help me.
Lucky Card Club on Mondays and Tuesdays, they only charge $5 an hour, which is half of the best value in town.
Unbeatable.
And they have micro stakes, which is 25 cent, 50 cent. And most of the time they have, every day they have 1-1 with a $100 max buy-in. So anyone that's looking to play poker and maybe doesn't know anyone like Eric Adams, that has a private small stakes game, which is a great way to learn. You can go to Lucky Card Club, pay $5 an hour. You're not going to get run over by someone. It's actually a max buy-in game that's capped. So you're not going to run into someone like Caitlin buying in for $7,000 in a
Ceddy
game.
He set the standard for that. We're going to talk about that, but that is all deep Texas poker. I'm blaming Ceddy.
Yeah, so one thing that a lot of people run into, I deal a lot of 1-2 games, but they're private and they run super deep. And, someone walks in that wants to learn and they've got like $150 buy-in and they're like, "What are the black chips?" And I'm like, "Those are 100. And they're like, "Why does that guy have 27 of them?" I'm like, "Because he has $4,000 in front of him.
Is he sneaking those on the table right now?
Yeah. And they're like, they're buying, like, especially if it's later in the evening, like, I'm in the tray. All I've got is, so I give them like a black chip and 2 greens for their $150.
Yeah.
And they're like, I get three chips. That guy has a mountain.
It's really demoralizing for a player learning the game to min buy into one of these deep stack games. And then they wait and they wait and they wait and they get it all in with aces. And the player who opened is sitting on 400 big blinds and he's like, "Yeah, I guess I call with Jack 7 off." And then he gets there on the poor guy that was like waiting for his aces is like, "Well, I guess I'll go home now."
Yeah.
That's not going to happen at Lucky Card Club, BB. You make your trip to Cedar Park.
Sometimes it's hard to remember because, all three of us here, we started playing poker a very long time ago, but it's hard to remember the college days, like Cedric was talking about, when you're playing for $20 and $20 is a meaningful amount of money. It's hard to remember those days, but everybody has to start. Nobody just picks up poker and, walks into a 5-10 game the first time they play.
Yeah, I remember.
Maybe a billionaire, but
I remember us buying in for like $10 and setting the blinds at 25 cent, 50 cent, and that's 20 big blinds. Like, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, my 25 cent, 50 cent game in college was capped at $20. $20 was a big buy-in.
No, but back to blaming Ceddy for deep Texas poker. I feel like Ceddy was the first one who was like, "Yeah, I roll 10,000 big blinds deep."
It didn't start like that.
You originated like the what do I call it? The bankroll papoose.
Oh yeah.
That was
Louis Vuitton.
He brought that to Texas. Yes,
I think I did.
Oh man.
Now everyone has them, and now I don't wear it because I'm my own man.
Yes, you're a trendsetter.
So what's next?
Now you gotta get a messenger bag.
I want to be on the front lines of the next trend.
I think I'm gonna start wearing like a really obnoxious like 24 carat like diamond chain, like a wrapper chain, like a 24-inch VVS diamond, just diamond after diamond after diamond. I think I'm going to start doing that.
I kind of love it.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely there with you. I will wear, I don't know if I can afford that type of jewelry, but I will wear something big and flashy that is not real.
I never wore jewelry, and then I decided to start collecting debt in Rolexes. So like I got this one Rolex, and then my wife's like, "You need a bracelet." So I bought a bracelet, and then I got upgraded my ring, and now it's a chain, and eventually I'm just going to change my hair and have like gold, just gold strands of hair.
With the Jerry curl.
Yeah.
A lot of texture.
What about a grill? You could get a grill.
I could get a grill.
That'd be pretty
I might have to go. Do you know anyone who does grills?
I could probably find somebody, but I'm thinking
I think I'm going to have to go to Houston for a grill.
Gold. Gold is like, that's old school. The price of gold is going up right now, but like platinum for sure.
What is that? Yeah.
Platinum. You definitely want platinum.
Diamonds, platinum, and other things. Yeah.
I bathe in Prosecco every evening.
Also, I did want to say one before we escape this topic. Lucky's doing a 5K free roll.
Ooh.
What is tomorrow? We're recording this on Friday the 11th. So Saturday the 12th, if you've listened to this episode by then, 5K free roll. Pretty good value.
100%. Smaller field. You don't have to fight through 20 tables.
Yeah.
Some places.
Go get that free money.
I mean, it's free. Why wouldn't you
Free
try?
money, baby. Overlay, queen.
All right, so Caitlin, tell us about your Mayhem series experience. I know you logged a lot of hours.
I did. I think I already talked about bagging the 500K, whatever. I got out second level of day 2. I'm new to MTTs. I've only been around for a couple of months. I find them incredibly stressful. It's such a different muscle than cash play, where I feel confident and I'm mostly playing against players that I know and have been playing against for years. So even though like people look at me and they're like, oh, wow, you feel comfortable playing against people with 10 grand and stuff, it's like, yeah, because it's like Westlake. I've known him. I've been playing, like I've stacked him many times. Like in my head, he's not a big threat.
I own all his Pokemons.
But when I'm like sitting across from like these gorgeous pros from Vegas, like, do you know that Big Ben guy? He's
Big
British, really dark skin, just like so juicy looking.
Like,
did he have dreadlocks?
Juicier than Italian?
Yeah,
guy?
he has locks.
Oh
currently.
yeah.
Big Ben.
He was at one of my tables.
I mean, like, I just saw him on the cash tables, but it's just like, I'm just using him as an example, you know, just because he's such a force. And, you know, I'm used to beautiful, soft Texas poker games where, you know, sometimes I even like give too much action on purpose.
Yeah. Where people say, do you want me to fold? I'll fold if you want me to fold. And you're like, yeah, just fold because we're all nice here. Then they fold and you win. Yeah.
If you can give me like one more dreamy male poker figure, I think I could do a really good MFK here if you're...
I don't want to kill any of my gorgeous poker crushes.
I know,
obviously.
that's the whole point of the game, is it puts you in just a terrible spot.
So far, the 2 men that you've mentioned don't look anything alike.
Mm-mm.
So
I have an eclectic palette.
Good.
All right.
Good for you.
All right. I played...
Oh my God, all the comments are going to be like, this bitch thirsty.
They're not wrong, Caitlin.
They're not wrong.
We have a section called the Harsh But Fair, and I think that would be a very... I mean, that's the low-hanging fruit on the Harsh But Fair.
Don't tip your hat.
That is the low-hanging fruit on the Harsh But Fair for today.
So anyway, I completely bricked the main event, fired 4 bullets, way too many bullets, friggin' sucked. It probably was 5, actually. It was 5. But it like fucking sucked. I hated it. I got it covered, but it was still just like a big hit to the bankroll. Couldn't connect. Played like garbage. Was super nervous. I mean, like on one of my bullets, they sat Jamiekerstetter at my table, who's like my buddy. Like we network on like Twitter and stuff. She's been really kind with engaging with my content and stuff. Like I consider her like a pal now, but it's still like really intimidating to sit across from like your hero that you've known for years and years.
It's tough to know when you're playing against someone that, I mean, I'm not going to say that, I mean, no one's perfect, right? But like, you're playing against someone that you know is not going to make a big mistake. Like, they might make a mistake, but they're not going to make a big one.
Well, it was more like I didn't want her to witness me doing anything stupid, but then I did. I folded top 2 because there were 2 straights on the board, but it was a 3-bet pot. Anyway, it was an absolute horse manure move. I just didn't want to fire another bullet. I should have found the call there, and I think I would have found a bag had I done that. So, you know, it's just like it's a learning experience, but I can't believe I let go of 2 pair like that.
Well, I was at the lodge on Friday during the series. I didn't play any poker because, you know, I don't have time to play poker anymore, apparently. I wanted to, though, because that place was packed. There must have been 700 people in there.
100%.
I mean, they had like that middle lane that's usually a walkway. They had that filled up with tables. And
I think all 60 tables were occupied.
100%. And then once the tournaments start, you know, for the first few hours of the tournaments, as people are getting eliminated before registration closes, the cash wait lists will be 30 to 50 people deep. It can get pretty bonkers. There's no stopping that freight train.
They need more tables. I know a guy. I mean, if anyone from the lodge is listening, I know a good guy for tables.
Well, you know they're expanding. They still have that in space. Yeah.
I know. That's actually why I was there. We were talking a little bit of business. I think we're going to do some business together. I'm pretty excited about it.
Craig booking the gig. Way to go, homie. Pound it.
Make that money.
Yeah.
Yes, king. So then that was the main event, just completely bricked. Was just pretty disappointed in myself because I've bagged a few tournaments now and I felt like I should have been able to do it. But, whatever. It's never a guarantee. But then I had a lot better luck in the ladies event. It's a much smaller event. It was a 10K guarantee. I think there were like 100 and some odd entries, around 150, I think. And I made the final table.
Sick brag.
So I got 9th place. I didn't survive my first shove. I shoved King 8 suited over 1 open. I probably could have waited for a bigger spot, but I had just been really applying pressure all day long, which is how I made the final table. I was really just using my stack and getting it in a lot. So wish I had waited for a bigger spot. Think I could have made a slightly deeper run, but I was happy to final table. And thank you to WPA Global and Ruth Hall for organizing the event, and to the Lodge for highlighting ladies. These ladies events are really important. I know some people think like, oh, that doesn't seem like equitable for there to be like, when's the men's only event? But it's like these events exist so that women who are not comfortable playing with men yet can have an introduction into the world, and that there can be a bridge and a stepping stone. And it happens in a lot. They do it in chess too, and it's very important. And I'm not going to stop playing ladies events anytime soon.
Can I say something inappropriate? Not to women, just in general. just in general. Like, can you curse on this? I'm not going to curse.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I
won't curse anyway.
Fuck yeah, you can.
Okay. Any of the men, like any of the people that say like there should be a men's only event, they can gargle on my balls because that's stupid.
Yeah,
that's just like so dumb.
I ride hard for women playing poker.
Well,
I think
just
it's
in
phenomenal.
general, like get more people into the game. Stop being an asshat that probably sits.
It is the single largest growth opportunity for the game of poker, which we all play poker. Bigger poker is better for all involved. And if you have a demographic where it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure women make up roughly, hold on, I have a calculator on my phone, like roughly 50% of the population. Is that right?
Okay. It's actually closer to 53. No, really, like you joke, but there's more women than men, right? Because they just live longer.
It's inequitable, but I'll live with it.
Story checks out.
Okay, so I mean, half the population, and I mean, what percentage of men play poker and what percentage of women play poker? I don't have those statistics in front of me, but I know that it is significantly less. It's the single easiest growth opportunity for the game. I usually
hear 5% women are 5% of the game.
Yeah, I think
probably
that's
20% of men, I would guess, if not even more. So it's the single largest growth opportunity in the game. And oh, by the way, if women want to do anything that's male dominated, I'm your biggest fan. So I think ladies only events are great. I think they're a great bridge. I ride hard for women getting into poker, and I ride hard for beginners getting into poker because I think
quit saying ride hard for women. What is wrong with you?
Continue to say ride hard.
I ride hard for women. I ride hard for beginners.
I ride so hard. So fucking hard.
So anyway, thank you to WPA Global. They have a very active Facebook community. If you want to friend Ruth Hall, if you're a lady listening and you want to get plugged into playing more female events, they have a group called the Hotties. You can reach out to Ruth about it, and she can get you plugged in to local women in Austin.
So someone else that I don't ride gently for
I ride tenderly.
is Red Star Social, who we've talked about a couple times. Yeah. I went last night, delivered their new chips, which are, I'm going to call them sexy. They are sexy. And their last couple of tables, so they are up and ready to go. I know that I'll probably talk a little bit more about it when I get more details, but their grand opening is going to be more towards the end of this month, but they're kind of soft open now, and really, really wanted to play last night, but I had the family with me, so couldn't stop and play, but
yeah, I believe they're doing like a grand opening that coincides with Big E, one of the owner's birthdays. And there's going to be a bounty on him all night, and they're giving away prizes. There's information on their social medias. They're on Twitter and Instagram as Red Star Social.
Tons of giveaways too. They're giving away like gift cards to all the other, all the restaurants and whatnot in the shopping center that they're in and whatnot. It's going to be a lot of value.
Very cool. Check it out. All right, Ceddy, why don't you tell us about your Mayhem Adventure at the Lodge? I know you were around.
Yeah, I was around. I didn't play any of the tournaments except for the main event. I would have probably played the $600 500K that's monthly. I would have played that, but I was in Vegas at the time playing a different tournament, so I only played the main event. I think I fired the first flight, or maybe the second. I think it was the second day first flight. That was the only flight I played. I did bag 286,000 chips. I think it was my number, and then I went back home for a couple days to San Antonio, came back on Sunday to play day 2. and didn't cash.
But you found a bag. Lead with the positive.
No, yeah.
Lead with the positive. You made it like chunkily into day two.
Yeah, no, we made the top, 15 to 20% of the field, and then played well, and unfortunately just, didn't win the last hand.
Bummer.
Yep.
Well, congrats on your bag. And I want to ask you more about what it's been like transitioning into doing more MTTs as a result, as I don't think we've gotten into it yet, your sponsorship with Poker Bros.
Sure. So in April of 2021, I started playing tournaments, a lot of tournaments. I signed like a sponsorship with Poker Bros, one of the online app sites. And I started with the trip to Hollywood, Florida to play a WPT. And then each and every month after that, I would play, 1 to 2 tournaments somewhere around the US. So I've been playing them for, anywhere from like 9 to 12 months. And I'm getting better. I'm getting much better. In the beginning, I was terrible. And just recently I had a good run in Vegas at the Venetian in one of them.
Oh, tell us about it.
I played the MSPT. It was an $1,100 MSPT event at the Venetian. There was 1,027 players. First place was 168,000, and I got fourth. Made the final table. Got fourth for 62K.
Well, congratulations, Ceddy.
Yeah,
what a bag.
Cool.
That must be, I know with tournaments, you got to put in the volume before you see the results. Was it really relieving?
I feel like that was pretty early. I think it's pretty early in someone's like poker career to like, make a final table for 5 figures or almost 6 figures. I just ran well. I played well. I was in a good like mindset. My wife was also there on the trip with me. That helps out. And I busted, and then like 15 minutes later was my birthday. So it was a pretty good birthday gift that I gave to myself.
Well, congrats on your run.
Thank you.
That's
thank you so much.
I'm curious just to ask, because you have traveled and played so much poker all around, what is it, like the major differences between playing poker in Texas versus playing poker in Florida, Vegas, and then even more so if you could elaborate to like the different cities in Texas?
Sure. So I'll start with this. Me currently, I only travel to other places to play tournaments. I don't really travel anywhere to play cash games unless it's Los Angeles. I played on some of their streams in LA. And the best place to play poker in the United States and probably the world is Texas, especially cash games. But for tournaments, you have to chase those big buy-ins. You have to chase those bracelets and rings and things like that, because that's how people, unfortunately, they think that's how you're like a good player. That's the validation is when you win something, when you win a first place or you make a final table.
What's your Hendon Mob?
Yeah, what's your Hendon Mob? And it's kind of sad to say, but like locally in San Antonio, we have some good tournaments, and I don't play them because they don't get posted to Hendon Mob. And like,
Caitlin recently got some trolling on was it on Twitter? Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. Some ass had on there. She was making a joke, number one. Yeah. So like he took her joke way too literally, and then he gave her some shit in a comment about how, oh, she has nothing on her Hendon Mob, or she has little on her Hendon Mob, whatever it was. And I was like, dude, okay, that is not the measure of a poker player. That guy sounds like he has a
yard in his front yard, like a sign in his front yard for being a dirty pervert.
Yeah. I mean, that guy's,
whatever.
Just talk about
the joke was, it was like a Valentine's Day post, and I like left a tip for my housekeeping at my resort in Vegas, and I was like, happy Valentine's Day, P.S. men are trash. And he was really upset that I said men are trash. He was like, hating on men in the poker industry, good luck with that.
That's pretty funny.
The fact that he referenced Hendon Mob as a measure of a poker player is just ridiculous.
He was such a pussy too, because he like blocked me immediately, so he couldn't like, he didn't even want to see my comeback. Coward. Matt Betty, look him up, y'all.
No free press for that asshat.
Don't worry, his 17 followers are going to be real excited he got the shout out.
Strong following.
Lost 30% of his followers over that comment. He's down to 9.
So cash games are Texas for me. That's where I play. I can, and that's just because there's the best action here. The place that you can kind of compare it to most would be LA. There's some okay games in Florida. But people tell me all the time, they're like, oh my gosh, I live in, blah, blah, blah. And the action in Florida is awesome. You should go there. And it's like, yeah, I go there. And then I like immediately leave because I hate it.
If I could play those games that Juliet, aka Queen of Felt, gets to play, I'd want to go there. Well, she gets invited to some sick private games in Miami.
Private games are going to be really good, like no matter what, because you're going to have people on credit and whales and recreational fun things happening. So the games are just going to be better. But all the cities in Texas are different, right? So I always tell people ask me a lot, like they message me on IG that are coming into town because they know that I'm like a Texas guy. And if they're out of towners, they really don't know where to play or what to play. And I tell them, if you want to play PLO, go to Houston. If you want to play Hold'em, you can be in any of the other big cities, San Antonio, Austin, or Dallas. If you want to play the biggest games on a stream, you probably end up in Dallas or Austin. If you want to play against the smartest players in Texas, play in Austin. And if you want to play against the easiest, softest fields in Texas, come to San Antonio where I live. Yeah.
I have heard that about San Antonio. I've never played in rounders. I've played in San Antonio.
The
but
legendary 125 matched 75% of this tag. Tell us about that.
Well,
legend.
now it's uncapped. It's just uncapped.
What?
Yeah. So I played at all the rooms in San Antonio and a lot of them in Austin, but San Antonio is where I live. So my normal day-to-day card room, if I play, which is not that often anymore, is rounders in San Antonio. They have 1-2, 1-2-5. And then like occasionally 5-5, 5-10, 10-25, but those are usually having to do with the stream or being built around a couple of players that want to have a bigger game. But yeah, the rule there where I play is if there is a $5 big blind or a $5 straddle that's mandatory, the game is uncapped. So you buy in whatever you want.
God bless America.
Yeah.
I know a few players that have gone down there and they brought, 3 or 5K with them because they're like, it's just 125 or whatever. And they're like, I got there and within 7 minutes, I was like, shit, should have brought more cash.
Trip to the ATM.
Yeah, I love people from out of town coming in, even if it's like out of San Antonio, like they can still live in Texas and just come with whatever they bring and leave with nothing. I love it. Just love it.
That is true. Like when the out of towners come in, just so y'all know, from Vegas at all, we're trying to keep the money in Texas. We're rooting for each other. Yeah. I'm not saying we're obviously not colluding, but like if I knew like Westlake was playing with a bunch of out of town boys in a big game at the lodge, and I saw him the next day, and I'm like, do we keep the money in Texas? You gotta keep your buddies in check. Keep that money in the state.
If you're gonna come to Texas to try to be nitty and pick off players, you're gonna lose. You're gonna have 7-way flop. 7 ways to a flop. Someone's gonna get you with a suited 4-gapper or an unsuited 5-gapper because we want you to go home broke.
I refer to Texas poker as solver proof.
Yeah, no, there's no solver.
There's no solver for
we're 1,000 big blinds
pot.
deep. Yeah, we're usually 1,000 big blinds deep, and we just want to hurt people.
Sometimes people are like, "Why did you call that 3-bet?"
Because the economy's good
when
and I have money,
and I'm like, "That's my duty." Okay, I play Texas poker.
Yeah.
Okay, like
because there's no state income tax. That's why, BB.
We call it like jump off the bridge equity. If I call you. You might jump off a bridge if I bad beat you hard enough.
Well, so there's implied odds with that, but I'm not even talking about math. I'm talking I will be the sacrificial lamb, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I will call that 3-bet with Jack 7 so that the Jack 10 behind me now has the right price to call, and the King
let's all
behind
get
him
in
is
here.
now going to call.
Yeah.
Then we go 5 ways. Now, fuck your solver. Take your solver, go
Doesn't
home,
feel good
cry
if it's not
into it.
irresponsible.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's my duty, okay? I know I'm out of position. I know I'm lighting money on fire, but it's my duty, okay? Like we all go 85 on the highway. Every now and then you're going to get a ticket.
Yeah.
You
It's
don't fight it. You
pre-flop.
just
If
pay
enough of us get in there, we're all equal.
Yeah.
Right. Run the damn cards. Let's find out who won.
Run it twice, please, though.
Yeah. Also, Europeans, if you come to Texas, we want to end you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we take no prisoners.
Don't unpack your bags.
Yeah. You might be checking out of that Holiday Inn early.
Right.
No continental breakfast for you, baby.
I'm kind of an asshole at the table sometimes. I've told players like, hey man, if you're really sitting down with all your money for the trip, I would recommend you take a few hundred off so that you can get a ride to the airport, eat food, maybe buy a change your plane ticket, like do something because we are trying to end you.
Yeah.
I can be kind of shitty to the out-of-towners too, especially if they bring like their vlogging equipment to the table.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, you're a poker vlogger? Like Poker Bunny?
No, and I love the out-of-towners, and I'm good friends with a ton of people that come in from out of town. And I only treat people that are going to sit down and like be antisocial. They're going to pull out a tablet. They're going to watch a movie the entire time. They're going to buy in short. This is the one that pisses me off most. When they come and they say, what's the max buy-in? and I know that they're just asking because they're not going to buy it, but they just want to like try to big dick you for a second. I did it to a kid here in Austin, a Swedish kid. He's like, what's the max buy-in? I said, don't be that guy, dude. Don't be that fucking guy. If you buy in for $300 after asking what the max buy-in is, we're going to ruin you right now. And sure enough, he's like, I'll buy in for $400. And I was like, I looked at 3 of my friends at the table and they're like, F this dude now.
Yeah.
And he left after $300 buy-ins.
You were
back
about to be
Sweden or Switzerland.
Yeah, don't come to Texas and think that you're not gonna be. We're not gonna be using our home.
Hold up.
Yeah, we got home field advantage and we're drunk, so don't mess with us.
Yeah, more tequila.
Yeah, his aces are going to need to hold up all 6 times.
Yeah, all
if
6
he wants to leave with any money.
Hit and run guy. That's the only way. And then I even tell people, lock the doors. Don't let them out. They're losing it all. Don't cash out their chips at the cage.
That might be more at a private game that kind of thing happens.
I say it everywhere. I don't care. They might not listen, but I'm still going to say it.
How do y'all feel about a top 5?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Right.
We're doing the top 5 social media personalities this week.
Nice.
Social media
poker.
excludes YouTube, this list.
Yes, so we're not counting YouTube vloggers. If you think we made like an obvious omission, we'll do that next week.
And we're also not counting the Poker Traveler because
he's here. He's obviously number 1 on every list.
Obviously number 1, but we had to exclude him because we don't want to be,
Yeah, before we get into it, do you have any plans to expand into a YouTube vlog?
Funny you ask. I recorded, it was kind of funny. Like the first time that I decided to record was for that trip for the Venetian.
Oh my God, how
that
perfect.
I actually final tabled. So we recorded everything. My wife helped me with she actually interviewed me like during some of the breaks. She posted it to her Instagram or my Instagram with the fork, the micro fork.
Cute.
So that's like getting final edits today, and it will probably be posted tomorrow on a YouTube channel that I've had for a long time, and I posted some stuff like long time ago, but now it's like really revamped, and it's going to be a real video with like professional editing and my wife's creative touches on it. So it's going to be really good. I don't think that I'll be like a person that's uploading twice a week or anything.
Doable.
But maybe like once every week or once every couple of weeks, I'll have a video hopefully from a tournament or like cash game stops or something like that.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah,
everybody like and subscribe to The Poker Traveler on YouTube.
Yeah, Poker Traveler, or you can even just type in my name. Either way, it'll come up. Cedric, 2 R's. You'll find me.
I will annihilate that like button.
We're going to smash it.
Yeah, we need to keep escalating because it was.
I'm hiring a click farm in Indonesia to just like and subscribe like every single video that I put there.
I just like the escalation that people, it was hit the like button, click the like button, smash it, hit it hard,
Yeah.
Ride
the like button.
Ride that like button hard.
Till the wheels fall off.
I mean, I was just like, I think I'm going to declare war on the like button pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm taking away their autonomy of the like button.
All right. Coming
top
in at
5.
Number 5, Jamiekerstetter, Twitter.
GPA award winner, Twitter personality of the year. As I mentioned earlier in the pod, I actually have met Jamie. I know her. She is everything you want her to be. Like, she is the girl next door. I'm obsessed with Jamie. She is so funny. A lot of times if she'll engage with your content, she can give you a complex because her comment will be funnier than your original post, and she'll get more engagement. You'll be like, oh, Jamie, God,
I think
why
Twitter,
are you so funny?
Twitter is like the toughest platform to be good at and get followers on because you have to be so on it and clever, and I'm not.
Consistent.
Yeah, and consistent.
Yeah, I really appreciate her humor. She's got great humor. I've listened to her podcast a couple times, and she's told some really, really funny stories on there. I think she was at Run It Up Reno one year or something, and she decided to jump in a 1K buy-in PLO 8 tournament or something like that. And she's like, I had no fucking idea what I was doing in there. And she's like, I'm somehow like
she final tabled
a little bit focused on the low, but not so much. And she's like, next thing you know, I'm at the final table.
Oh, wow.
And we're 3 ways with a guy who's like a PLO 8 crusher. And then it's me and like another dude that was kind of like me that was like, I don't even know why I bought into this stupid thing, but somehow we got to the final 3. And so someone mentioned a chop, and the crusher's like, fuck you, I'm not chopping. And so, like I'm twice as good as both of you combined. And so somehow or another, I think it came down to like essentially a coin flip, and this dude lost, and he's felt it, and now it's down to these two complete rookies, and she's like, you want to chop? And the guy's like, fuck yeah, I want to chop. She's like, we chopped that money up. She's like, I hit and ran the PLO8 community for 30 grand, and I'm never giving it back.
I love that.
So funny.
She's like, that's the first and last time I ever played PLO8.
She's an all-star, and there's a reason why she got the opportunity of being added to the legendary duo. Like, now it's Norman Chad, Lon McCarran, and Jamiekerstetter.
Sick.
Like, big leagues.
Yeah, she's awesome. I would love to meet her someday, so I'm going to exploit our friendship so that I can meet her. Thank you, Caitlin.
Please come on my podcast, Jamiekerstetter.
Number 4, I love this guy, and I'm ashamed I didn't know of him until about a month ago, but Greg Goes All In.
Greg Goes All In is so funny. The TikTok king, the short form king. He's done videos on like the different ways people stack their chips, different poker archetypes. He's always hitting those new trends. He's got great branding with his All In glasses. He's done Poker Out Loud. He's got a YouTube channel. Like, you can't escape him.
He's got the funny like short little cameos with Brad Owen and Doug Polk, like hitting them in the grocery store.
He's a trained actor. Did you know that about him?
I did not know that
Yeah, he's a
him.
trained actor. You know?
I'm not surprised. He's brilliant.
He's really good.
Did you know I'm a trained actor?
You're
like,
a trained actress.
Yeah.
But yes,
Correct.
I did.
Correct. Yes.
I write hard for
I ride hard.
Greg Goes All In
actors.
and all trained actors and actresses.
I am a hard writer for trained actresses.
Okay, so follow Greg Goes All In on Instagram.
Yeah, he
Twitter.
crushes the short form. Super funny. And by the way, very, very shallow pool, but my favorite Canadian, I think. I mean, not even poker.
You don't like
Canadian,
Drake?
Drake's okay.
Drake
Actually,
fucks.
I recently watched The Tinder Swindler, and because he keeps talking about his enemies, I had Drake in my head for like a solid 3 days.
That
I was
is
just
a good
like,
track.
Couldn't,
I like
couldn't
energy.
get Drake out of my head because I was just all from The Tinder Swindler. It has nothing to do with Drake.
If I had a like theme song playing when I walked into places, it would always be Drake.
Yeah, it'd be great
Yeah.
artist. We should do that at poker. Poker
Yeah.
needs walk-up music for final tables.
Oh. Like when the wrestlers would come into the ring, or
Yes, or
like
baseball
boxers.
players. Baseball players have walk-up music, right? As
I
they're
mean,
like
not even
approaching
final
to
tables.
bat.
They should just do that on the stream. That
Yeah.
should be like, they should intro the players with their little intro
Lodge
song.
Live, we have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yes,
Walk-up
humble
music.
suggestion for you.
Yeah, I'd want to come in one time like a Mexican prize fighter, like with the sombrero and everything, or like 50 Cent behind me, like a fake 50 Cent.
You
Obviously,
definitely got to get on the chain
45
idea
cents
because
behind me.
You get the chain going. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
That's going to fit.
I would do like a big brassy Broadway belt. There's no business like show like Ethel Merman.
All right, so Greg
Okay.
Goes All In, crushing the short form videos. Love that. Hope he keeps going. Third, we have this is like a chop, right? The number 3 spot's chopped between Lynn G and Poker Bunny, and they are
Yes.
Instagram queens.
So the reason we booked them together is because they're obviously both young, beautiful, gorgeous girls that know how to use their sex appeal, and they both had like a meteoric rise. And I think they do that with a combination of their hot baddies in bathing suits, and then also they're both like playing really big and playing really big stakes, and they're also great on their YouTube channel, specifically at good clickbaity titles.
Yeah, I have
like
sort of
poker.
a hot take on this. Is more for Poker Bunny.
Yeah.
than
For
Lynn.
instance, Poker Bunny has a video that's like tit equity, and then she has another one that's like little girl plays high stakes. A little baby, 23-year-old baby tries to play the pokers.
Yeah, I've got kind of a hot take on. Like I said, this is way more for Poker Bunny than Lynn, but. I understand what these women are doing, understand the line that they're taking, but okay, they're playing chess or they're playing checkers. They are not playing chess, okay? And the, like, I don't know, 100,000 simps that they've got following them. Just, I mean, come on, guys. You're getting beat.
And you're not talking about their poker skill. You're talking about their use of social media
Correct,
to grow their
correct.
following. Let's
They
just
are
be clear about
brilliant
that.
for
We
doing
have a lot of respect for their poker games.
Listen, if I had the assets that those women have, I would do it too. But I'm
No,
just saying,
I put my titties on Instagram all the time. I am not above that in any way. I like. I've never met Poker Bunny, but I support her, and I have met Lynn, and I think she is a badass and a half. She is such a strong presence. Like, she comes in like a bulldozer, and I have so much respect for her and who she is at such a young age.
in fact, I was I didn't want to lump her in with Poker Bunny when we were discussing this, prior, but we did because they are
the
similar channels in that they are, mostly on Instagram. And
I think these ladies have to use, and just anyone in general has to use whatever their skill set is, whatever their talent is, whatever is most appealing. And if you use that to become popular and get into the best games and network with the right people, who cares?
Yeah, if we're allowed to use our personalities.
I do it now, and I don't even look like them. Yeah. Like, how do you think I got 40,000 followers on Instagram?
He's showing full cheek.
Yeah. Do whatever I need to do. Get the subscribers. Get the
number 2, and here's someone who I think it kind of angled away from the sex appeal and still had it, but angled away from it, and almost like in a comedic way was Marley. I love Marley's content. Her content's phenomenal, and when she was doing a little more on the vlog space, it was really, really funny. Some of her hot takes on that.
She's doing more short form now, and she released these videos on Instagram and Twitter that blew up that were so funny. Of like she did like a series of them, but the first one was 5'10" player player who usually plays 5'10" is playing 2'5", and she does little monologues as like the player who's like stepping down in stakes and is like, I just like to come over here and relax.
Yeah, they're really good.
So funny.
They're really good. She also did one recently about having success in a tournament, and like, she's just really hilarious. Her take on things and how everything she says is just the funniest way to say what's like really happening out there. Everything has a lot of truth behind it when she speaks.
She also did a really funny video that was like being in a poker relationship. She's obviously, one of her first viral videos was I want a poker boyfriend, or looking for and then her wish came true. She just married Ben Spraggy, who's a Twitch streamer, really talented British chap. But she did a little sketch recently, and she plays both the parts. She's always playing like all the roles in her sketches. And she did like her coming home and from a tournament and busting out and being like, ugh, well, I mean, I had to. I was like in the low jack with 5-5, and so I had to go all in, or something like that. And the partner's like, oh yeah, let's talk about it later.
Is she also a trained actress?
I know she has a background in stand-up. I mean, whether or not she went to a 4-year acting conservatory, I couldn't speak to. But
I think she was a model. She used to do some models and like commercials and things like that. But yeah, a lot of comedy and like.
Do I need to ride hard for her or no?
100% ride hard.
I just need to know, because when I get home, I need to know who I'm riding for.
You need to ride hard for everybody on this list.
Okay. Done.
Yeah, everybody.
Done. Yeah. Number 1, probably controversial, Dan Bilzerian.
Dan Bilzerian, the ultimate IG hype man. A lot of smoke and mirrors. And he actually hit the headlines not too recently, because last year there was some controversy about him being disrespectful. He like was using a model as a table and was like, Happy International Women's Day, around the time he got added on as a sponsor. And so this year, GG Poker, who was sponsoring him, they dropped him as a sponsor on International Women's Day.
Love that.
Coincidence? I think not.
Emphasis on the smoke for Dan Bilzerian. He is a clown, I think, for the most part. Again, talking about, he's playing checkers and people just falling for it hand over fist and giving him the follows and the likes and engaging in all of his content and whatnot. And the guy's, I don't know what he's adding to the universe, but it is entertaining at times. I mean, I'll see other people that share the posts and whatnot, and I'll see some of the stuff he does. It's funny. He's a big gun guy, posts a lot of really, really crazy gun stuff that's wild. I mean, at least he looks like he's out in the middle of the desert when he does it, so he's not going to hurt anybody. But
do you think the models in his pictures get like an hourly rate?
Or they for sure do.
Or are they being compensated in sushi and like Goldschlager?
They're not compensated at all. They just hang out with him because he's cool.
Yeah, he's just so handsome and awesome.
Personality.
Yeah,
those hair plugs.
I know his people for sure. Like, make a call out to like the casting agent. We need 25 hot girls at this address in Beverly Hills right now, and just that's.
And they
what
all
happens.
just get in line and they just take the first.
Yeah, and they're
25.
like, "Oh, Dan Bilzerian, I'm going to be on Instagram."
I think they pay him actually. I think they pay him for the right to be part of his content,
to be in there. He has
Use
a book
me like
out.
a table, Daddy.
Yeah.
The podcast that he, when he went on Doug Polk's podcast and they talked, that was really interesting. It was tense at times. Those guys.
Tense, yeah.
He literally, Doug was asking him about being a womanizer, and he gave this answer that was just like, made me feel like I was on another planet. He was like, yeah, no, I found like when I like have too few girlfriends, that's when like a lot of like jealousy and like problems start to come out, where if you spread it more over like 7 to 15, then everybody's happier and and I think there's something really authentic about that, and that
something really authentic about having
like he's like honest and like exactly. It's like really authentic and straightforward. And I don't think you see that a lot. I think that's really rare.
He's actually doing them a favor by dating 14 other women so that he doesn't, treat them bad.
I was just like, oh my God, your mommy issues that you cannot be intimate emotionally with a lady.
Let's put a positive spin on it, right? Those STD clinics, they need business too. What a weirdo. He's definitely an interesting study. So that rounds out that list. And now we would move on to a hand review.
All right. Ceddy, do you want to bless us with a hand review from your recent playings?
Yeah, I'll talk about a hand that I played very poorly at the Win. This was the Mystery Bounty Tournament. We're like deep on day one. I think about 46 people were going to bag, and we're somewhere between like 48 and 49 players. And this bubble has taken forever. Like, we've been playing for hours and hours and hours, and we have to play down to the 11%. So we're all there. Blinds are getting really high. This is going to be the longest flight of all the flights that are occurring in this tournament. And I played a hand, I think, pretty poorly. I opened with pocket jacks to a min raise, and I only have about 30 bigs, which is not bad, but it's not great.
What was your position?
I was in late position. I wish I would have thought about this before. I was in low jack. There's a player directly to my left who's been kind of active. I showed him a bluff earlier. He's been playing a little more. Middle-aged Indian guy who has my stack covered. He probably has about 45 bigs. We're good here. Okay. And then the gentleman on the left, he's going to be on the button. He's super short. He only has like 5 bigs. I already knew he was going to be getting it all in. Like, that's why I was willing to get in, to just bring in for a min raise. I was figuring this guy was going to ship all in. My plan was that if anybody else came along, I was going to just rejam my stack. So he gets his stack all in. It folds all the way around back to me. And now I have my decision. Do I just call his all in, which is only 5 to 6 bigs, which looks pretty strong if I'm willing to just call the hand and not re-raise my stack?
But you are sending now a written invitation.
I'm sending a written invitation for the guy to my left to either just also call the all in for this, 5 to 6 bigs. Or what I was thinking is, because this guy's had enough of my shit, he's going to rip on me if I just happen to call this all in. So what do? I don't rejam. I just call. And sure enough, he thinks for like 5 seconds and he rips. And I'm like, this is exactly what we wanted. We have pocket jacks. This guy has not a strong hand as us. He doesn't have aces. He doesn't have kings. He doesn't have queens. Maybe we're flipping. Maybe he has ace queen. I don't even think he has ace king. But we paused because we see that the clock loses 2 players during that hand, which sucks because now we will be on the stone bubble if we get eliminated by this big stack. So that had something to do with my play. I also start thinking about it. And I'm like, wait, I just showed tremendous strength by just calling. And this guy knows that. And now he's ripping it all in on me. Does he have me beat?
If you fold here, you said the clock lost 2 players. So if you fold here, you're in the money?
If I fold here, we're now only 1 player away from the money.
Oh, and you will be that player. If you call and lose, you are that guy.
I'm going to be that guy. So I think about all these things, and I make a really terrible fold. I fold pocket jacks. I call the all in. He rips all in. It comes back to me. I fold, and then they table their hands. And guess what they are? The first player, who was the big stack, what do you think he has?
Ace queen.
9s.
He has ace 7 offsuit.
Oh, no.
The player that is the guy that only had 5 or 6 bigs.
I mean, his range is super wide.
He actually has ace queen. So it's ace queen versus ace 7. I had jacks. Jacks are in a great position against these 2 guys. Flop comes 7 high. Turn is a blank. River's a blank. 7 wins. Knocks out the short stack. But more importantly, I'm left with, not too many big blinds. I mean, I win this pot, I get to a like top 10 stack in this tournament at this time. But I folded. I made a bad fold, and this is where I actually like, you have to learn from like your bad decisions. But what I was more happy about was that as soon as this happened, I kept like my composure. I didn't just rejam the next hand that I picked up a hand. Like I played it the way I should have. And I ended up like building my stack 2.5 times what I had at that moment after I made that fold.
And so I assume you cashed.
So I bagged. I did bag. It took a long time, but I did bag. I get to the next, day 2 for the mystery bounty with like some good energy, like really good expectation. I have some short stacks in my table. I get 2 players all in. They both happen to win their all ins, and then I'm out with the coin flip. So no mystery bounties for me to pull, but it was a min cash. I think the tournament was 1,600, and I think I cashed for like 29.20 or something like that.
I don't think that's a terrible spot given the money bubble. I think one could make an argument for some conservative decisions there.
Given the bubble, I mean, what I should have just done was I played exactly how I analyzed it before it even happened, exactly like I should have, and I should have just ripped my jacks all in.
Yeah, your original plan would have worked for sure, because A7's going away.
Yeah, for sure. And also the fact that there was going to be 2 more flights that I was going to be able to play during that trip, that's another reason why I should probably just get it in there, because I have more bullets. I will fire again. I should just do that. But honestly, the tournament was taking so long that I didn't want to have to play the next day. I just really didn't want to have to play the next day.
Didn't want to do what you had just done again.
Didn't want to do a 13-hour day to min cash, or to try to min cash again. So.
Well, and also, to be fair, in the words of Brad Owen, there's no right way to play jiggities.
That's true.
So you proved that.
The man is wise beyond his years.
Wise beyond his body weight, even.
Wow.
There's no, hey, don't make fun of skinny guys.
He's not that, like, he's tall, so he's kind of heavy, I would assume. I mean, he's not
Ask him how much he weighs.
You're fat, Brad Owen. You heard it here first.
No.
I was talking about Craig.
Do you know how much he weighs?
I know how much Craig weighs. I was talking about Craig the whole time. Who are y'all talking about?
I thought you were talking about Brad Owen.
Brad's skinny too.
No, Brad Owen's got body.
But he's tall, and I'm pretty sure Brad can knock somebody out if you really got pissed.
Wait.
He's probably close to 200.
This is a great opportunity. Let's all 3 guess Brad Owen's weight right now.
What a fun and then I could
text him. I literally could text him and say that we have.
I know,
and he'll answer.
Okay.
Yeah, or we'll get a comment on Instagram or something. We'll have him comment it in or something.
I'm guessing 179.
Are we doing, hold on, you can edit your guess. Are we doing Price is Right rules? If you're over, do you lose?
No, we'll do just closest.
Okay, 179, you go.
It's hard, right?
Yeah. Brad Owen weighs 184 pounds.
Oh, good guess. Damn it. Maybe I should have gone 80.
I'm going to go under.
You go in between us. I'm
going
under.
You're going under both of us?
Hold on. How tall? What is he, like 6?
We can't answer that.
6, yeah.
I was thinking he's like 6'3" or 6'4", because I think he's kind of tall.
He's tall.
So, let's see.
He's a slender boy, but he's not.
If he's got similar body mass to me, I am 6 foot, and I know what I weigh. So add a few more inches, add 3 inches to my height. We're guessing there, but similar mass.
No, you're way skinnier than Brad Owen. Stop.
I'm going to say 179, 184. God, I want to take the under so bad. I'm going to say 173.
Get at us, Brad.
Terrible
Get
guess.
At us.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll find out. But let's wrap this up with a little harsh but fair.
Who wants to go first?
Yeah.
What is harsh but fair?
Harsh but fair is where you provide feedback. You provide feedback to both me and Craig, and when you're receiving your feedback, you don't get to make excuses. You just have to receive it and say harsh but fair.
Okay, I don't have any.
Bit.
Okay,
I want to see y'all do it first.
Yeah,
we'll let you go last. Caitlin, ladies first.
I'm doing it. Okay, I never think this through. We always make it up, and it can be quite chaotic.
This is 100% on the spot.
Okay. Craig, your harsh but fair is that I think that you've been giving me too much distance lately, and I feel like I need your nagging presence, and you're letting me be too independent, and I'm not ready for that. I need more supervision, and you've been leading me out in the weeds to drown.
Am I not riding hard enough?
You're not riding hard enough for me. Just receive your feedback.
That's harsh, but fair.
Okay.
Fair.
And then, Ceddy, this is your feedback.
I'm ready. Give it to me.
So your harsh but fair is that you brought the douchey bankroll baby papoose to Austin. You brought Louis Vuitton to Austin. I'm seeing a lot of really fancy scarves that these men cannot pull off. And you did that to them.
It's harsh but fair, but I love it. I'm really excited about all the things that I've done. Because these people look stupid. They don't realize that I did it as a joke.
Yeah.
And now they're like,
that's what I love.
Yeah, like I got a fanny pack, like a Louis Vuitton fanny pack, because I could, and because it was funny, and now everyone wears them like an idiot.
I won't say this player's name.
I will. Who is it?
No. I mean, if I tell you who it is, I have to say their name. To say their name. But whisper. Again, private game, whatever. This guy shows up with exactly what we were talking about. And when he's taking it off, which from my understanding, you're not supposed to take it off. That's the whole point of over the
you
shoulder.
Leave it on.
Right.
You leave it on.
So he's taking it off and someone goes, I don't know if you noticed, but my back, it's designer. Get the fuck out of here.
He said that? That person said that?
And he said in that tone.
Oh, I don't know if you know.
I feel dirty.
I was embarrassed for him.
As
I was like, wow, what an unbelievable way to let the entire room know what a douche you are. I mean, unbelievable. Rough. So I have you to thank for that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Craig, are you ready?
So, Caitlin, you tried to flip roles on me yesterday. Okay, we knew we're coming to record today, and you send me this text in the early afternoon, which is early day for both of us. And you're like, up my ass. We're recording tomorrow. We got to get the outline. We got to prepare. And I was like, who the fuck took Caitlin's phone and texted me this? Because this is not Caitlin. And then you want to schedule a call so we could talk about the things we're going to talk about. And I was like, I don't even know this person. Who is this person and what have they done to Caitlin? So that's bullshit. I will be the one keeping us on task. You go back to your degenerative activities. That's bullshit.
Harsh but fair. I didn't play poker for 4 days, and I reconnected with the adult within me.
And Ceddy, earlier you were talking about how your friends, they were all older, and then you used the word lame because they were
super lame.
They were getting married and having families and stuff like that.
Yes, and, children.
We are the same age, and
you have a family and children.
I have one child and another on the way. Which we'll just go ahead and call this the public announcement.
Oh my gosh! Congrats
to Craig and Jackie and Charlie.
Many friends and family. They know and they've known for a while, but this is a first public announcement. We have another boy on the way this fall.
Congratulations! Now I feel really terrible that I said that.
So I will be twice as lame.
No, you're my age. You're 38.
Yeah, 38.
See, but that's not old. That's a perfect time to have a family and to have children. I felt like this was happening 10 years ago, and that's totally fine too. It's just not me. So when things are not me, I like to judge them, and I like to say that they're lame.
Yeah. You have to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
But if other people don't do what's best for
you. But me and my wife do have responsibilities other than work and money and whatnot. We have a dog. Mm-hmm. He is a wiener dog. His name is Luca. He's a badass. He's at daycare right now.
Aww.
Yeah, has a wonderful life.
I will say there's a bit of Tom Segura humor where he talks about before he had kids and people say until you have kids, you have no idea. He's 100% right on that.
Yeah.
2, he talks about when you have kids and you tell people, oh my gosh, I never realized how much you could love something in this world until I had kids. And then people are like, I know exactly what you're saying. I love my dog.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really funny bit.
Yeah.
I made this comparison all the time. We have a dog. I've had dogs most of my life and very much a dog person. And I said, I imagine it's going to be challenging, just like having a dog. So it's not the same exact comparison, but I was like, it's probably going to be just like having a dog in the sense that you get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah.
If you put a ton of effort in and you do the work, you're going to have a dog that acts accordingly. And people are going to go, wow, you got really lucky. Your dog's well behaved. And it's like, it's not luck, dumbass.
The best people in the world that I've found are people that are brutally honest, right? And you know how everybody says oh, my kids are the best thing that I've ever had in my life. You won't know until you've had them, just like you said. No, when I find someone that's dude, I effed up. I should not have had these children. They've changed everything. I love them. I love my wife. I love my husband.
Filled with regret.
But this was a bad idea. Don't do this. When I find a person like that, hold on to them. That person will help guide you through decisions in your life.
I did respect what you said where you were talking about early on. You know, you wanted to get your finances in order.
Yeah.
That was the path that I chose to take because, I mean, my son is 2 years old. So 38, we got married. We didn't get married until we wanted to have kids.
Sure.
So we got married, started right away. I mean, so 36 years old before having a kid.
As crazy as I am, as like crazy as like, you know, my young adulthood life was, like I told my wife when we were dating, I was like, we're not going to get engaged and we're not going to get married because most people get married and divorced because of things like finances and money. And like, if it doesn't work out, it's not going to be because of money. I'm not going to allow us to not last because of money. So I'm going to make sure we have what we need, our houses, like our cars, like everything, good jobs. And then like, you know, we're going to be in a better space to make this work.
Okay, low key, all this fiscal responsibility is like really turning me on.
Yeah, I definitely wish more people would not have the family so young because when I talk to younger parents, now I'm starting to like meet and, you know, hang out and sometimes with younger parents, it's the financial strain is a big one. And the fact that we decided to get all that stuff in order before doing that, it's a huge relief to have all that stuff just not really be a big concern.
I think I have a harsh but fair.
Let's go, Ceddy.
Okay, I don't know. Do guests normally do this or no?
Yes, if you want to.
I'm bringing it.
I mean, Joe Strazzera, that little sweetheart struggled with it.
Oh, it's because he's like a teddy bear.
I know.
Joe, I want to give him a hug right now. I'm going to actually find out where he is and go give him a hug.
Okay.
Harsh but fair. This is yours. Okay. You take advantage of men. You take advantage of men at the table. They're young or rich, older men. They're of all types. They're of all ethnicities. They're of all sizes, shapes, and forms. Deep down, they're all kind. But you take advantage of them. You walk in with your tiger sweater and you're like, oh, look at me. I'm here to play poker with the boys. And then you leave with more money than you showed up with. And these guys are like, fuck, like, what am I doing wrong against her? And they don't realize that this is a whole well thought out scam to take their money.
It's like a Ponzi scheme, but without the other. It's like a single level Ponzi scheme.
And I'm being serious. Every woman here that we talked about earlier, they all do that because they know what they need to do. And good for them. But that's my harsh but fair for you.
Harsh but fair. Thank you, Ceddy.
All right. Harsh but fair. I think that deep down, I think on the surface, because I hadn't met you before, you're like well put together and like handsome and like has like nice colored eyes, like light colored eyes.
Do you want to make out right now?
Yes. But no, this is where I'm going with. You're talking about your family and like you're super nice and I'm sure you have like a great wife and great kids and a great life. But I think deep down, you're just a effing degen and you just want to let it out. And earlier when you were saying like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to be the guy that buys in $30. I think you're holding that in. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be like 10 grand, let's flip, red or black, cockfighting in the back. Like, let's gamble. That's my harsh but fair for you, sir.
Closet degen, harsh but fair. I will say, I keep telling Caitlin, get me in on one of these streams. And I want to get in there
ruin them.
And just... I'm going to knit it up, but at some point, I'm going to flip the switch.
Ride them hard, babe.
I ride those knits hard.
Just like really knit it up and then show aces, right? And then the next time, like, just have 7 deuce off and just
so there was a
rip it
time,
on
this was years ago. I'll still do it now. I'm not above it, but I will do like the limp back raise in the proper spot and whatnot. And I've got some funny, one of these times I'll tell the hand history of where, you know, it goes wrong, right? Where you limp and then everybody limps and you're like 7 ways to a flop with kings. You're like, whoops, my bad.
I lose.
I have made an error.
But one time I was doing that and I did it in a game and it was a bunch of guys that I knew. And this one guy's like, I mean, that's so fucking stupid. You're never balancing there. You're never balancing that with the occasional ace 9 suited or ace 10 or whatever. So literally like 6 hands later, I have ace 10 suited. I'm under the gun and I'm like, fuck it. Today's the day. So I just go ahead and I limp and then it gets raised, and then it gets 3-bet by this guy.
Yes!
And I just jam for like
Straight up
15x his 4-bet. And he's like, oh, you fucking do it to me again. He was so pissed, and he fucking snap folds ace queen suited, and I roll over the ace 10, and I was like, well, I mean, you gave me the idea. I had to do it.
Knew you had it in you,
Punish these people.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. First of all, thank you, Ceddy, a.k.a. Poker Traveler, for joining us on the Texas Poker Experience. Thank you to our sponsors, Patch Addict and Lucky Card Club here in Austin. This has been episode 7 of the Texas Poker Experience.
I truly enjoyed it. I'm going to tell everyone, as I always do, not to be a nit, but I'm also going to tell them Yankees suck.
Baseball's back. The strike's over.
And put the straddle on. Bye.